When Carson adopted an orphaned boy in Tunisia, he never expected anything in return of love. However, 27 years later, Arlan found an amazing way to repay him for his kindness. Arlan was born in Tunisia, the northernmost country in Africa, and his name symbolizes a person worthy of being relied upon, providing shelter for others. Tragically, his mother passed away during childbirth, leaving him an orphan. With no family to be found, the newborn was placed in the care of the SOS Children's Village in Gammarth. Despite the hardships of his early years, Arlan possessed a remarkable resilience and a fighting spirit that shone even as a child. By the time he turned 6, Arlan was acutely aware of the challenges surrounding him in a country grappling with poverty and a high rate of school dropouts. Even at his young age, he was determined to forge a brighter future for himself. Meanwhile, across the ocean in the United States, Carson Pearson felt an unshakable restlessness. Drawn by a deep calling to make a difference, he felt compelled to go to Africa, with a particular focus on Tunisia. As fate would have it, Carson soon joined the team at the SOS Village in Gammarth, setting the stage for a life-changing encounter. When he arrived, he found plenty of work to do. Some children attended afternoon programs at the children's homes, while others found a loving home environment within the SOS family. Both groups needed constant care, and raising orphans became a tangible way for Carson to show love and compassion. He dove right into the work. The moment Carson and Arlan met, an interesting bond was formed. Arlan quickly became Carson's right-hand man. Whether it was helping to offload food supplies or guiding the foreigner through town, the two became an inseparable team. Carson found his footing in Africa and was determined to make a difference. Meanwhile, Arlan focused on school, and Carson became his after-school tutor, teaching him perfect English. The boy had a natural talent for languages, but also a keen mind for repairing broken things in the orphanage. Arlan had a knack for picking up discarded items and transforming them into something useful for the SOS village. Though their bond grew strong, Carson wanted to give Arlan the security of knowing he would always be there, not as a humanitarian worker, but as a father. He began the process of adopting Arlan. There were challenges along the way, but the fact that Carson had already been working in Tunisia for more than 5 years gave credibility to their relationship. Soon after Arlan turned 15, the two best friends officially became family. High school flew by quickly, and Carson wanted to introduce his son to his relatives in America. They visited his hometown during a school break, where Carson's family offered to pay for Arlan's education if he wished to pursue higher studies in America. It was an exciting opportunity that Arlan eagerly embraced, but first, he had to finish high school and decide what he wanted to study. When the time came, Arlan enrolled at Stanford University in California to study engineering. He was a dedicated student with a passion for innovation. From the start, his humble beginnings gave him a unique perspective on infrastructure and development. It didn't take long for the university to recognize his talent and dedication. After his first year, he was awarded an academic scholarship. The 5 years it took Arlan to complete his studies were challenging. For the first time in his life, he was away from his father for long periods. Carson remained his pillar of strength and safety net, always there to support him. Despite their unconventional start, their father-son bond could not have been stronger. Cultural differences and ethnicity were no barriers to the love they shared. Carson's discipline, structure, and values shaped Arlan's strong moral character. While Carson remained in Africa, continuing his humanitarian work, his health began to decline. Whenever Arlan had a break from school, he would return to Tunisia to visit his father. As his studies progressed, however, Arlan began working during holidays to gain practical experience in his chosen field. Twice during this time, Carson had to return to the United States for medical treatment, and the time they shared became even more precious. Finally, Arlan's graduation day arrived. There was no question that Carson would be his guest of honor. Carson was proud of his son, the boy who had come into his life, not by chance but by fate. Raising and mentoring Arlan was undoubtedly Carson's greatest achievement. The graduation ceremony was a special day, but Carson had no idea what an inspiration his son had become. Not only was Arlan popular among his peers and professors, but he was also about to graduate as valedictorian. Arlan had kept this a surprise, wanting to make the day even more memorable. In his valedictorian speech, Arlan shared memories of growing up in an orphanage in Tunisia. He spoke about the challenges of leaving his home for America, even though it was a blessing few people from Tunisia ever received. He shared his vision of returning to his native country to improve its infrastructure in ways that were efficient and environmentally sustainable. Then, his speech shifted to his father. Arlan described Carson as the most selfless man he had ever known. "My father taught me to love others more than myself," Arlan said. "He always told me that rules and boundaries are there to protect us, like building a strong bridge over a crocodile-infested river. If you stay on that bridge, you are safe." There wasn't a dry eye in the audience, but what happened next was even more astounding. How could a boy from an impoverished country repay his father for a lifetime of sacrifices? While parents give out of pure love, it is a blessing when children acknowledge their parents' contributions. Arlan was about to do just that. Not only had he completed his studies, but Arlan had also started his own engineering company in secret. He had already secured contracts in America and arranged for investments in infrastructure projects in Gammarth, Tunisia, the town where he grew up. The greatest surprise came when Arlan unveiled a building designed by a close architect friend, showcasing stunning Tunisian architectural elements. Displayed prominently in golden letters on the facade was the name of his company, Carson Pearson Engineering Teelant. The company wasn't just about business, it also gave back to the community through the Carson Pearson Foundation, which offered bursaries to students aspiring to study engineering and sponsorships for those pursuing humanitarian work in Africa. Through these initiatives, Carson's legacy would continue to inspire and make a difference long after his passing. In a heartfelt ceremony, Arlan presented this incredible gift to his father in front of the entire school. Overwhelmed with emotion, Carson could only shed tears of joy and pride. Adopting Arlan had been the best decision of his life, and the bond of love they shared would last forever. I'm keen to know your thoughts on this story, so please don't hesitate to share your insights in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it engaging, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more similar content. Feel free to share this video. Take good care of yourselves, and I'm excited to connect with you in our future videos.